Hi, I'm Dorianne Mamo. Welcome to this podcast, part of the Mediterrane Film Festival. I'm accompanied by the talented and fabulous Khoa. Thank you so much for being here.
Thanks for having me.
How are you?
Good. Great.
Your first time in Malta.
My first time in Malta.
And your first impressions?
You know what? I love it. It's historic, and I grew up as a Gladiator fan, so it's almost like a kid's dream coming true when you kind of see the world like this, and it's just quite amazing.
You've got to go around actually, perhaps to some cities already, or not really?
Not yet. I came in towards the evening time, and I just kind of walked around like maybe 4 times, and then just sat down and had a cup of coffee.
You've manifested to become a filmmaker.
Yes.
How did that work for you? We know the result, but
Well, I started as a musician first. I grew up as a pianist.
Wow.
I started my journey around when I was 19 years old. And, that's when I started my business, went to music, did music for 10 years, went to Juilliard for, trying to be a composer. And I think kind of converting from music to film was almost like a natural thing because I dealt with a bunch of music artists. I was writing songs and telling stories musically.
But was there a point where you knew that you were going to work in this industry?
No.
It
Zero.
just happened?
Zero. The reason why is I got into the film industry because I wanted to make music videos.
I see. Oh,
And I was terrible at making music videos, so it was easy for me to tell a story. The
stories.
films.
Stories are your thing.
I think that was a natural thing. I think that came because of the music side of things.
Stories are your thing, and so is AI, artificial intelligence.
Yeah, well, I mean that's all new, and I started that journey when AI came out with ChatGPT 3.5 came out when that came out, I just saw the future of where we were going to go.
How does it help you? Artificial intelligence in general, because some say it could be a threat.
Okay, I mean, do you want me to scare you or do you want me to inspire you?
I want it to be real.
Be real.
A reality check, perhaps.
I think right now we're in a place where we're not even, I like to I love baseball and I kind of use baseball as a reference. We're not even in spring training yet at the moment. We're just gathering the equipment together. That's where we're at. So I see the future as how computers are kind of maxed out in some ways. This thing's not going to be another 20 more years. We have no idea where it's going to go. But I look at AI as more like partnerships of people of resources that you would never really get.
How do you integrate it in your movies and your films and your videos?
So in for films, you were starting the pre-production side of things, right? So let's start with most simple things will be storyboarding, right? Talking to the here in the master class with Catherine with Twilight, and she's talking about storyboard. She does all that type of stuff, and I'm looking at it. Man, you can actually do all this in an hour of what she's actually planning out, right? We could just asking, say, hey, I want to add trains over here. I want to add some cars over here. I want to do that, da da da, and AI could do that in seconds for you. And I'm thinking, man, she must have spent so much money, so much time thinking about everything else. And then with AI, you kind of talk to it like with an idea, and it would just spit out the idea now. So to me, that wouldn't be a scary thing. That just kind of gave everyone in that room access to what she has now or what she had with the studio. But then the filmmaker has access to a studio in the box.
I know that during this film festival, you're even included in this. You're heading actually this panel discussion about AI.
That's right. That's correct.
Your views, your thoughts.
I mean, I think that it's a amazing opportunity for filmmakers to actually succeed now with AI. I think there's gonna be a kind of like everyone has access to a phone. People can shoot their movies on the phone. People got access to like $2,000 cameras now, and they could all do the same thing. But at the end of the day, AI it becomes a tool, becomes a partner, but you as a human still got to execute the product. Now, we're not there yet where you just type in an idea and then the movie comes out for a 90-minute movie comes out. We're not there yet. I don't think we're close to there yet. However, it's maybe for a commercial, but not for a 90-minute movie yet, you know? And I think that it's just a great opportunity for filmmakers to have an opportunity to succeed. Like in the film industry, it's it's a gated knowledge base industry, right? If you once you made it, like you kind of like to educate it to somebody else. It's like pulling teeth to find somebody who said, "Why should I give you that knowledge that I spent 20 years building?" Now you could just type it and learn the industry in a week. To me, that's amazing because the more filmmakers know about the industry, they could start revolutionizing and innovating how the industry should go in the future.
Huge successes for you, like before, Mickey, working with Netflix and Amazon.
Yeah.
Your favorite type of movies, perhaps, if you had to choose?
Inspirational dramas. Yeah, inspirational movie. Anything that's inspiration, motivational, uplifting movies. Those are my favorites. Yeah.
What's your motto in life? If you like motivational,
You know what? Like I look at life as like you can never take your successes to the grave. So the best you could do is what you do in your lifetime to help other people out, right? Being impactful. Sounds like kind of like cheesy, but in my opinion, like it's true. You can't bring your successes to the grave. You can bring the goal to the grave, right? So what are you gonna leave behind? Your kids' legacy and their kids' legacy and then their friends and stuff. And all you could do is just kind of help people be better. Why are you gonna keep the knowledge to yourself? It doesn't make any sense.
what are your views on film festivals such as this one? Do they work? Do they help people network?
Absolutely. I think I was just talking to my friend about this. I think that with more AI, more technology, it's even more important that we're connected with humans. Right? You can't do the film festival on Zoom. You have to be in person. 80% of your body, 80% of language is body language, not just what you say. It's how you say it. And maybe sometimes you're not even saying anything, right? Tells you a lot about what people are thinking about and going about it. So I look at film festival like this as like it's inspirational, especially you hold it in a what on a set where Gladiator was shot. I mean, who wouldn't want to be a filmmaker, you know? And I think like I went to Cannes recently and gigantic, completely like crazy over there. I come over here, it's like, okay, and I see Catherine doing her master class, right? And I'm seeing like, okay, this is great, I mean, you guys have to walk before you run, and I'm seeing that there's a lot of growth potential for the next 100 years here.
We've mentioned the nice stuff, but there are some challenges as well in the film industry.
Of course.
Your advice to those who would love to do what you do, perhaps, as a career?
My advice is to understand the business, like in and out. Like I get it. You're a creative. You don't want to know how to do a spreadsheet. You don't want to think about the business. How do you make money out of it? It's boring. But as a filmmaker and want to be in the film business, you gotta understand the business. You don't have to be doing the business, but you gotta understand it. You gotta understand how people operate, and every film is a little bit different. You're not gonna market a comedy movie like you would do a horror movie at all. Different audience, and a lot of filmmakers don't understand that concept. And my advice is that understand that, then think about what kind of message you want to deliver to people, and if there's a need for that message. Just because you have a story doesn't mean that it's something that people need to hear about it.
And some upcoming projects, perhaps, in your case?
So I have a slate of 10 projects, raising money for 3 of the movies, and then I recently we're emerging to become a film distributor. So we acquired 300 movies recently. I went to Cannes, came back with 300 movies.
How many movies?
300.
Oh my.
Yeah. So we're still in the place of curating and stuff, but we wanted to get into distribution because we wanted more control of our destiny, right? I never want a third party ever put a gun to my head and say, you're going to succeed or you're not going to succeed. I wanted the audience to know that, look, I'm going to put a film out there and it's either going to tank because of me or because, or it's going to succeed because of me, not because a third party says no to me. So becoming a distributor, kind of bite the bullet, right? But then at the same time, I want to be able to help filmmakers succeed. So we want to kind of give the goods to them, really educate them.
That's really nice. Thank you so much for your time.
Of course, thank you so much for having me.
Thank you.
All right.